All right, today we have a 1986 Mercedes 300 SDL turbo diesel, 722.3 trans. And what's going on with this? This came from a wholesale account, and this lady comes back to him every couple of weeks with something going on. We think with something going on with the trans. We never felt anything. The owner of the repair shop drove it. Never felt any problem. I drove it, never felt any problem. But the last time she came back, she says that and this happened wherever she was, all the way to the guy's station. Couldn't go over 25 miles an hour, and then when she would let off the gas, it would almost like come to a stop. So I'm thinking what's going on with this is it's probably staying in first gear, and when you let off the gas, the engine braking is, really slowing this car down. But again, everybody drove it around. Nobody really felt anything. Obviously, it's very intermittent. But what I did do is put the shifter in low, drive the car, got up to 25 miles an hour, about 3,000 RPM, let off the gas, and the engine really slowed down. The car did almost come to a stop from engine braking. So I think what we're going to do here to see if there is anything going on in the trans, we got the pan down, of course. I had the tech drop it before he went home. And there is some stuff in the pan, some clutch material in the pan, because as you know, the K3 clutch on this does like to flake off. It's pretty common. So possibly what's going on with this, we're going to take the filter down, the valve body down, and the channel plate down, and I'm going to open up the channel plate where it should have a couple of screens, either one or two screens housed in the channel plate. And if those screens are loaded up with clutch material, that could be the intermittent problem that we're getting with the no shift condition. So instead of constantly driving this thing around, the lady is away, otherwise I would drive the car with her and simulate the condition. I'm going to drop out the filter, valve body, and channel plate, and I'm going to move it over to the bench. And I'm going to take the channel plate apart to expose those screens, and we're going to see what's going on with those screens. All right, so let me just go grab my tools, and we're going to start by dropping the filter, the valve body, and then the channel plate, of course, and then we'll see what's going on. All right, so give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get my stuff. I will be right back. All right, so we're going to start by taking down the filter. Try to light this thing as best I could so everybody can see. Okay, well, that's one. All right, we do got a lot of crap on this filter here, a lot of clutch material. I'll show you the filter on the bench because even the filter doesn't really look that good. But I'm going to show you this on the bench because this really isn't good. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be doing this trans. All right, so now we're going to take the valve body down here. These are all 10mm bolts. And you got 3 bolts. These 3 bolts here are shorter than the rest. But we're just going to take these down, and this valve body will drop right down. And of course, behind these plates here, On either side are the accumulators. And that's where we get the, I get that kit from Mercedes. Because that's very, very important for proper operation, you know, with shifting and stuff, those accumulators. And also, sometimes I've seen it where those springs actually are broken. So when you see those springs are broken, I mean, you got to kind of hope you can get something similar, or you have an extra valve body laying around. All right, so here are the two bolts here. Let me just kind of hold these things up. Here are the two bolts, you know, the shorter one, the ones that go on the end. Here. And you know, as much as the stuff that I'm seeing, I really didn't feel the delay in reverse, which is surprising, because that's pretty much where we get a lot of these in. And this filter has a lot more than what's acceptable. Even in the pan, if these pans are normally clean, this pan is not clean. So I think that we're definitely going to be seeing something when we take these screens out. All right, then we got the last one here. Okay, I'm going to slow this right down. All right, putting this in the pan. And now, all right, we're going to take the detent off here, the clicker. These are shorter bolts. So here's one piece, and then the clicker will come right out. Just gotta, there we go, there's that. A couple more bolts, and then this will be down. All right, one more. Okay, so now we got a pipe here, and we're going to just pull this whole thing. There's going to be one more. I had to miss one. Well, looks like they're all out. There we go. Whoop. Just have to give it a little pull. All right, I didn't want that really to happen, so you guys can see, but wow, a lot of crap on this. definitely something going on. All right, so this piece, this plastic oil, right, let me see so you can see it. This plastic oil dam had fell out. That thing goes right in there like that. Might as well leave that out, because if it falls in the oil and I don't remember, I'll forget to put it back. You also have a piece here and right here. I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'm going to take this little lineup pin out and put that down. And you have like a check valve here. That really can't fall out. This piece really can't fall out. And then there's another, I'm not sure what it is, some plastic oil dam in here as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is carry all this stuff over to the bench. And I'll set the camera up on the bench. And we'll go through it, but I think I'm pretty sure what we're going to find here. All right, so next, I'm going to take everything and set it up by the bench, so I'll be back in a moment, and we're going to go through all this stuff. So I'll be back momentarily. Okay, all right, so first I want to show you guys the filter. All right, we got a lot of clutch material over here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And even here, the filter is, the material starting to come out. Sometimes that happens. I've seen that before as well. So this is no good. All this clutch material here, that's a lot more than should be there. And also on the pan, we got a lot here, we got a lot here. Usually these pans are clean when you drop them, you know, for K3 clutches and flaking. But I'm hoping I can actually do, when we get this out, I'll hopefully do a follow-up. We get the okay on it. But it looks like this is going to need training. Alright, so the valve body, really not much I will be able to see. But if we are going to do this, I am going to take this valve body apart and I'll go through it. There's a piece here, the little check valve here, that can fall out, you know, very, you know, easily. All right, and there's a pin here, and they call that a shift pin, and the pin is stuck. So definitely got something going on here. All right, here is the separator plate, or the little channel plate. All right, all kinds of stuff here. The screens are located in this area right here, but all kinds of stuff here, all over here. We got a lot. Look at that. A lot of clutch material here. All right, so we're going to take this apart. This piece here, come right out. Actually, let me see if I can get a little closer. Let's see here. Okay. Oop, wrong way. A little closer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this tension plate off. This will come off. This will come off here. All right. And we got two screens located right there. The screens are dirty. Let me just Something else. Okay, screen's definitely, there's got a lot of crap on that one. Trying not to disturb it so whatever's on there stays on there. And this one actually is pretty clean, but that maybe could be the intermittent problem. But here is one of the screens, you know, it's pretty dirty. And the other one actually is rather clean. But if these things were caught solid, this thing wouldn't shift at all. Being it's a very intermittent issue, I think this is what we're dealing with. All right, so here's a check valve I'm going to take out. Okay, now let me just drain this a little bit here. And we even got a bunch of stuff right over there, a bunch of clutch material, even here. And look at that here. And so I think that that's what we're dealing with here. But we definitely have a screen here with a lot of crap on it, and the other one is fairly clean, which would, you know, kind of be an intermittent problem. Again, if these things were solid, this thing wouldn't shift pretty much at all at a first. But I think it's maybe restricting the oil. It's not getting to the governor. It's restricting the oil for where it's supposed to go, and it's holding this thing in first. I mean, when the lady felt it, and it happened from wherever she was all the way to the repair shop, and then she puts it in park, goes in and gets some, doesn't shut the car off, puts it in drive, and the thing works fine. He drove for 20, 30 minutes with her, and the thing worked good. I drove it, it worked good. But I think that we do have something going on here. That is definitely my opinion. When we take this unit apart, we're going to find that that K3 clutch definitely is probably flaked and causing all this. Now, if you can see this here, all right, this is all clutch material. This all could have been in the screen. Look at that there. It all could have been, you know, getting in. There's all in the vicinity of the screen. So I think I'm gonna definitely recommend a unit. He has to talk to the lady. She is away, and I'm hoping that I can follow up with this if we do get the okay. I know I'm gonna be under the gun to get it done because I know she's due back soon, and she's gonna want it for when she gets back. So I don't know if I'll actually be able to film the teardown or just film, you know, what I found coming apart in the trans, but I will certainly do my best. All right, guys, so we got 1986 300 turbo diesel Mercedes 722.3, and we have pretty much an intermittent, very intermittent, I should say, no shift problem. So it looks like something definitely is coming apart in this unit, and I'm going to speak to him in a little bit when he opens and go from there. I'm going to pitch him a transmission, and we'll see what we're going to do. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I'm hoping for a bit of a follow-up on this, and have a great day. We'll see you next one. All right, so we did get the okay to pull the trans out, open it up, go through. We're going to overhaul it. And again, this is the 1986 300 SDL turbo diesel. And we're going to open it up and see what we find flaking off. I know we're going to probably find, as I said, the K3 clutch is very common. But we're just going to kind of chunk this down and just look at the clutches. and just kind of confirm what I found that was laying on the filter and in the pan and clogging those little screens. Alright, so we'll let me get a little closer. We're just going to chunk this thing down real quick. We'll start by taking the pump off the, there's a band in the drum, and then we'll probably take the back apart and slide the gear train out. Alright, so I'll get a little closer and we'll start with that. Alright, so let's take these pump bolts out. Right. All right, let's get this drum out here. I have to pull that piston out of the band. I did take this side out, so I thought I would be able to sneak it by. Too bad. Let's see if we can get these out. Okay. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take this this one out with this heavy spring on it. Alright, so turn this up. And here's what keeps the rear band center. Okay. Alright, so this, I gotta do it this way. This has got a pretty heavy spring. I use this piece to this is like a speedometer housing. See if we can pop this clip out. Okay. Here is also for the servo. That goes right on there. All right, now we can get these. Oh, you know what? I had a little washer on it. A couple of spacers actually. like that. Okay, now let's get these K3 clutches out. Let me get the one out, because this one looks like it's worn down to nothing. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing left on this friction. Totally worn down to nothing. I can't believe this thing actually had reverse as good as it did. And they're all like that. Alright, let me turn this up and it'll probably come out. Alright, so here's the others. And this one, I mean, you got some on it, but absolutely nothing pretty much on these. This is where all the crap came from. That was on the filter, clogging that one little screen. And this should be the pressure plate. Alright, well, we can get that later. Alright, so what we'll do now, we're going to take the back apart here. We're going to zip this off here, take the tail off, and we got to get the governor drive gear. There's a snapper behind the governor drive gear. Alright. So this here is a 30mm 12 point. Normally this would stay on the other side, but maybe it was easier to take this off. Okay, and there's a shim right there. You don't want to lose that. There's going to be shims on the inside as well. Alright, next thing we're going to take off is this kick down solenoid, and then we're going to take the tail off. Okay, this kick down solenoid, got some O-rings. Doesn't really seem like the O-rings are doing much, but they come in the kit, so I'm going to change those. And a washer, aluminum washer as well. Okay. strap in here. Wow, it's really caked in here. Even this bearing is no good. That's something that I really never seen that too much. This bearing is very loose in here. We gotta change that as well. Okay, here's the park. Alright, there's shims here. And there's more shims. Alright, and we'll take the governor drive gear out. And then we have a snap ring. And then we will be able to slide the gear ring out. Okay, there's the snap ring. Alright, now I'm going to spin this around. Here's the pressure plate for the K3. Now let's get the band. We'll get the washer out behind that B2 drum there. You know what? Piston out quick, and we'll see if we can get the band out. Okay, that's good. And your pin. These are selective. Now we get the band out. Alright, the band's really not flaking, but it does have cracks in it. So that's definitely going to be changed. This band, I can actually still see the writing on it. Doesn't look too bad, but we'll see what we're going to do with it. Alright, so let's check the other two drums. These are generally pretty good, but I'm going to be putting a banner kit in this anyway. Alright. And here, you have some more shims and a bearing, so you want to keep all this together. Okay, that goes back here, and of course rides here. So the shims go in first, and then the bearing will ride in between the drum and the stator. Alright, little black, not too bad, not definitely flaking like the reverses. Actually, could still see a little possible writing on these as well, but 1986 car, so we're going to change them. Alright, and I guess that's about it. So that confirms what I'm seeing in the transmission is from the K3 clutch here. And I mean, I don't know how well you can see this, but I mean, there's nothing on these clutches at all. And a lot of times you would have a delay. I mean, this is just zero. A lot of times you would have a delay in reverse, and you know, reverse really wasn't working bad, but my theory is that this clutch material was getting into, let me just turn my light back on. So my theory is that the clutch material, all right, here's the filter again, you know, with all that, this is all from the K3 clutch, was getting into those screens, the two screens that live here, and when that happens, the car is not going to shift. I believe it cuts possibly the oil to the governor circuit, so the car will stay in first. And this problem happened once or twice to the lady. Never happened for me, never happened for the guy that owns the wholesale, the gas station, the wholesale account that sent it to me. But since we were having trouble, you know, trying to see this problem, and it's a very good account, I actually got two cars, this one and a Chevy pickup from him, and I got a Standard coming in today. So it's a pretty good account. It's a very busy shop. I decided to take down the valve body and plate, purposely to check those screens, and sure enough, one was clear, and one wasn't clear. I would think that would explain why this thing was just intermittent. I mean, if these things were totally blocked, this thing would not get out of first gear at all. So I'm going to get, let me get going on this. It's still very busy here. We've still got plenty to do. But I did want to do the follow-up on this Mercedes 1986 300 SDL turbo diesel. And we had an occasional, never happened for me or the repair shop, no shift at a first. She was saying that what I understand is a nice lady, older lady that drives the car, and she says, oh, the car wouldn't go over 25 miles an hour, and when I would let my foot off the gas, the car would almost come to a stop. And when I simulated that, putting the car like in manual 1, the engine braking was pretty heavy, and the car actually almost did come to a stop. So it looks like we are gonna, the problem isn't a trans and this K3 clutch, of course, nothing left of it. Alrighty, so I thank you guys for watching this video. Let's see, I don't think there's really anything else. I did get let me just grab the valve body here real quick. There is the plate, a lot of crap on the plate. Alright, the one thing that actually just came in last night, behind here, these two and these two are accumulators, and it's very important for proper operation, so I change these every one, and I only use a kit from Mercedes. I think that kit, I don't know if the kit's maybe $100, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference from the way this thing works. When you buy some of these other kits, you may get the O-rings in the kit, but they just don't fit right, and I was never comfortable using it, so I only use Mercedes. Even the overhaul kit is going to be a German overhaul kit called Stuttgart, a very good OE kit, and that's really all I use. Can't really use that. I don't like to use anything else. So we got accumulator here and here, and here and here, and a couple times I did find broken springs as well. So that's another reason why they have to be opened and checked. Second, I'll actually show you the ring kit. Give me 1 minute. All right, so this is the kit that I get from Mercedes, and it has all the different sizes. So what I do is when I take the cover off, I take the accumulator piston out, and then I take the ring off, both rings off of the piston, and I fit them in the holes to make sure I get the right size. You know, I'll put them on top of the ring. I'll make sure it fits, it closes, and once I do that, I know I have the right one because the sizes are pretty close. So that's the way that I like to do it, and it works pretty well. All right, so this is the kit that is going to be going in the Valvebody, and the rest of the parts I actually don't even have on order yet because I got much to do here before I even get to this one. Alrighty guys, so once again, thanks for watching, have a great day, and we'll see you next one.